When you do something that comes from the heart, when you bring it together with intention, magic happens. If you're a graphic designer, an accountant, an artist, a singer, or anything in between, you're a creator and you're a creator. And what does that mean? That means that we're part of something greater than ourselves.
Nothing really brings people together like football. The mission is to use a game to drive social change.
Our mission is to provide the best identification tools using fingerprints.
There's 3 billion disposable cups disposed of in Germany alone.
This is a reusable coffee cup made of coffee grounds.
High impact equals high growth. And what does impact mean? Impact means you take your do what you love moment and you make a difference in this world.
We are creators.
The problem we're trying to solve is literacy.
We want young people to get back to understanding how computers work.
We employ refugees to teach their native languages.
If more young creators around the world would take their passion and mix it with intention and bring those two things together, you never know what might happen.
We try to create new tools for humanitarian aid.
Pollution filtering, scarves, giving access to energy.
If you're doing something that has intention or meaning in it, you cannot fail.
The kids need these devices.
And it's a completely different landscape.
We just want to push things further.
That's the problem.
We can make it a better world.
Then you would have the most amazing.
It has so much impact.
And if we can do that, then we can make change.
The reason we do this show and this event is because we want to recognize impact creating companies. The nonprofit, the small business, the mission-driven business that maybe it's not clear yet how it becomes $1 billion or $5 billion, but it's very clear that the world needs it.
We live in a world where people need to create their life's work and not just to live in.
Our winners are Gatest
and Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for tonight's Creator Awards, Adi Newman.
Hello! Hi, Berlin! Hello, hello, hello! Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 2018 Berlin Creator Awards. Amazing. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We have some very interesting companies for you to meet tonight. From cups made from recycled coffee grounds to creators fighting climate change and global hunger. Now, you know, it's not that long ago that WeWork itself was an early-stage startup. Adam Neumann, our CEO, was pacing up and down all over Manhattan, securing office space after office space. Miguel McKelvey, our co-founder, was designing all those offices and also hand-building all the IKEA furniture that went into them, so it's good he's an architect, because it's challenging. And now, we're lucky enough to be here and to have the opportunity to give back right here in Berlin. Now, this is our 8th Creator Award for 2018. It is the last and final stop before the global finals. What company from tonight is going to join the companies from all over the world that are going to compete for the grand prize in January? We have yet to see. And what better place to choose our last selection than Germany, one of the most innovative and progressive countries in the world. Now we know this because we see it every day in our 15 locations across the country. It's been 2 years since WeWork came to Deutschland, and we are very excited to see what's going to happen next. But first, to open up the night, I'd like to present VP of Community, Lenny Sneimer. Hi, Mama.
Thanks, Adi. Wow. It is so great to be back in Berlin. Yeah. Wow. Last year, the finalists in Berlin impressed us with both the quality and inventiveness of their ideas, and we are so thrilled to support them. As you all know, that's the very purpose of the Creator Awards, to support the best new businesses and ideas from all over the world that are making a difference. In the past 2 years, since we started the Creator Awards, we have delivered on just that. To date, WeWork has given away millions in Creator Award funding to over 200 winners. Yeah. And of those funded companies, we've created over 500 jobs. We've had over 31,000 attendees across 14 events that have taken place across the globe. Sure, yeah. And we've received over 14,000 applications since the program began. That's 14,000 creators. It was just over 1 year ago that we had the Creator Awards in Berlin. And since then, many of the winners are making a real change in the world in their own unique and impactful ways. Now, we'd like to share one of those stories with you. An organization called Caddis came to the 2017 Creator Awards with a daring mission: to send healthcare professionals to the front lines of conflict areas in order to provide emergency medical services to those in need. Let's take a look at their story.
I think to live in a country like Germany, you realize how privileged you are. I'm not rich, but we have this privilege day and night that we are safe and secure. For me, it's just a logical thing to use these privileges to help other people. We're here in our crisis response makerspace in Berlin. I founded Caddis with some friends together in 2014. Through organizing music festivals, we learned that we did there everything that we need in a crisis area. We just wanted to bring the spirit of these people into humanitarian aid. Our main project is an emergency response unit that will bring medical and technical help to the people who need it the most. Everything that we need in the crisis area that is expensive to buy, we try to build it ourselves. Also welding and the trucks, we build them here as well. We heard about the Creator Award at 1 week before the deadline, so it was really like a short shot.
Please welcome to the stage, Sebastian Unimog.
I really thought that we will have no chance, so it was really a little bit like, this is not our award.
I'd like to invite the remaining finalists to the stage together. We're going to send each and every one of you home tonight with $500,000.
Through winning this money, we were able to stabilize the crew so that we could work full-time on our project. The last half year, we developed the first civilian small-scale solution for humanitarian airdrop. At the moment, we have a big gap between people who have an access to a lot of products and to a lot of social systems, and a lot of people who don't. So being a creator is more about looking at the things that we already have and find solutions how we can bring these things to more people. This helped us to double the number of projects that we did within the last year. What didn't change after the Creator Awards, I still work at night, but now I work in my dream job, work for humanitarian aid full-time.
Please welcome to the stage Sebastian Unimog and Verena Lobel.
Welcome to the stage, yes. Amazing. It's so good to see both of you again, and so wonderful to have you back on the Creator stage. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to since last year's Creator Awards?
Obviously, after winning $500,000, Verena and I spent like 6 months on the Bahamas, thinking what. No, honestly, we have an ongoing project in Syria, in Raqqa, the former capital of the so-called Islamic State, where we treated over the last months more than 6,000 patients. We are just about to send our next team tomorrow to Bosnia, where thousands of refugees are stuck without shelter and are not able to cross the borders. So we will bring them not only medical aid, but another project that we will bring them mobile hot showers. Sounds like a luxury thing, but with temperatures with minus 20 degrees, it is really an important project. We We are preparing to go to Yemen, and I don't want to speak about Yemen because this will really destroy the mood of the night, but you all know what Yemen is about. And we prepared as well to go to Nepal with the airdrop project that you saw in the video. So we did plenty of things with the money that we got.
It's incredible. Amazing. And tell us a bit more about some of the places that you visited.
Yeah, I think especially for me personally, it was like the last year was just really crazy because I had the chance to go to so many different places. I went to Iraq, we could go on working in Syria, we went to Bosnia as well. Then we went to Nepal where we met a lot of really amazing people to start new projects. We went to Lesbos in Greece as well, and we got the chance to go to Ireland and prepare trainings for our team, which go to this conflict areas. So it was quite a busy year, actually.
Amazing, incredible. And what's next for you? Do you know what will be on the horizon?
The next big thing is definitely Yemen, but honestly, we need more money, so hello. www.cadis.org. The next thing will really be, I think we still have two different branches within our organization. The one thing is really go there when nobody else wants to go. This is the war zones. The other thing is to stay grassroots and to stay like creators. So we have this crisis response makerspace in Berlin, and we will go on to try to develop projects, to try to do more things with WeWork and with the companies who are with WeWork, to just grow this community who is interested in finding new solutions for humanitarian aid.
Amazing. Well, thank you. And last question is, do you have any advice for our finalists tonight?
To be totally honest, I was never sober on stage. Never. This is the first advice. Take some of the wine. And the other thing, I don't know. If your project is shit, your project is shit. And if you burn for the things that you do,
which they're not,
then you burn for the things that you do. And this is the only advice I can give. So I have no idea how we won.
Thank you for your work. And another round of applause for Cadis. Thank you, thank you. Incredible. Now let's welcome Adi back to the stage.
Yes, oh baby. Hi, darling. Hi. Sorry, we're saying hi. Hi. Wow. Those Sebastian and Verena, huh? That is some seriously mission-driven inspiration. So let me tell you what's going to happen tonight. We're giving out awards in two categories. We have the business venture category, and we have the nonprofit. Now we're going to begin with the business venture. The business venture category is where we highlight and give voice to companies that are changing the world. In just a few minutes, our finalists are going to come on stage one by one, and they're going to pitch to you and the judges, and then they're going to answer the Q&A for a chance to win some serious funding. But before that, let's see a little bit about the journey that brought them here tonight.
Hi there, I'm Bachtan.
I am David.
I'm Carmen.
I'm Liz.
And
my name is Max. We are two of the founders.
We're the co-founders of
the CEO and co-founder of Amparo. Creator of Bilingual.
We want to be able to support amputees.
Offering people a new way to understand climate change.
And Corcento solves these two problems because there is no plan B for our planet.
So thank you very much.
Hope to see you soon.
Test. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Action.
A creator to me is somebody who's very curious about our world.
Seeing something and wanting to change something.
being a creator is to be able to turn dreams into reality.
Someone who's inspirational and who actually has a drive to succeed.
Being part of the Creator Awards is proof to me that this is something worth working on.
This is extremely benefiting in any case possible. So even if we don't win, this is already a win for us.
Because you can fail, but you've got to wake up the next day and keep going.
I truly believe that we can be this unifying factor behind building a better and more sustainable world. My name is Lubomila.
I'm Liz.
My name is Julian.
My name is Alina.
Carmen.
And I am a creator.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, our business venture finalists. Hi, guys. And now, let's meet our judges. Our first judge is Sarah Nuro. Sarah Nuro! Yay! Sarah is the co-founder of Nuro Coffee. Nuro Coffee not only produces amazing, high-quality coffee, but also works tirelessly to empower Ethiopian women to achieve financial independence. Way to go, Sarah. Our next judge, Thomas Luke, is a principal at Cherry Ventures, dedicated to cultivating seed stage companies all across Europe. Hello, Thomas. Our third judge, Justine Powell, is the managing director of Handelsblatt Global, a German media group responsible for Germany's leading business and financial daily news. And our fourth judge, Louis Hanneman, is partner at eVentures, where he develops and implants strategies for companies around the world. Thank you, Louis. We're very happy you guys are all here. So can you start by telling me a little about what you're going to be looking for in the companies tonight? Louis?
Yeah, more than happy to. So I'm really looking. So my professional job is always to find, great startup, great entrepreneurs. But for tonight, it's going to be a little different for me. It's really about who has the highest ambition in terms of wants to make a real change in the world. And for me, it's mostly about, not first world problems, but that are really going to make a difference, for, the 3 other billion.
Nice. Thank you.
For me, it's about looking at each of the ventures and thinking, if it was my own money, where would I put it? And that's really important for me. So I'm looking at the CEO to see whether I've got confidence in him or her, and really also whether the venture can grow organically. So if we didn't invest the money, would it still carry on growing?
Nice.
Yeah, so just like Louis, I'm a VC in my real job, so we're always looking for great companies, and I think the companies that made it here, they've gone through a tough funnel, so I'm very, very excited to see what they have to offer.
Yeah, as it said before, same for me. I'm looking for companies that is innovative, creative, but also that is tackling problem that needs to solve.
Hi, Louis. Documented. Thank you for that. And it looks like there's some high aspirations from our contestants tonight. Finalists, are you ready? It's gonna happen. Okay. Let's get right to it. So our first finalist has created a fully recyclable coffee cup made from used coffee grounds. From Cafe Form, please welcome Julian Lechner. Okay. Now, Julian, you'll have 1 minute to pitch to the audience, and then we're going to Q&A by the judges. Are you ready?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Yes, your minute starts now.
Hi, everybody. I'm Julian, and I'm personally a passionate coffee lover. When I studied product design back in Italy, I realized that there are 2 major issues along the coffee chain. The first and the biggest problem is that there are about 3 billion single-use coffee cups going to waste annually around the world. And the second problem is that there's about 8 million tons of spent coffee grounds with only a limited use. So therefore, I thought, can I create a circular loop and tackle the both problems by combining them, what I did is I created a new material based on recycled coffee grounds and bio-based binders to create new cups. If WeWork partners with us, we can scale this idea to a global level in order to create a more environmental friendly impact. Because we at Coffee Foam believe that new material matters.
Thank you so much. Let me turn you, yes. Okay. Sarah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Julian. Thank you for your pitch. So, what's your plan for the growth for the next year? And also, what would you do with the money you get invested?
So far, we're based here in Berlin, and we have quite a limited logistical structure. We would definitely invest in a bigger team to collect coffee, have more efficient drying right here on our local sites. We would invest in our molds to create faster our cups, and also look to build up, let's say, a bigger scale to reduce costs of the cups.
Julian, I've got a question. So coffee grounds are already biodegradable. Why bother producing a cup from something that you can put in the ground already?
The great thing is that coffee is like the most popular drink in the world, and this raw material for the coffee grounds already exists. So we can take these and replace standard plastics with our material to cut down our global emissions and kind of demand on plastics.
Can you speak a bit about how you're going to get the product into the market? Are you selling it online through coffee chains or?
I'm I'm thinking about coffee since 8 years, and 3 years ago I funded my company, and now I'm organically bootstrapping it. We have been sold already like 50,000 of these cups with our sheltered workshop, and we have infinite ideas beside even these cups. The cups are just the beginning of this material.
Yeah, and one more question. I mean, I'm probably one of the few non-coffee drinkers, and for me, back in the days, people just wouldn't walk around with their coffee, so there was no waste. And I suppose what you're trying to do is a habit change. So you want that people take your thing instead of the stuff that is nowadays thrown away. So why wouldn't you try to just change the habit of not drinking coffee all the time, where you walk, and drink it where it was supposed to be?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if people stick on, we also make actually cups, not only reusable coffee cups, so people can use also our coffee cups and sauces, and also decide, how they really want to use the coffee for, and the global also demand of coffee is of course a problem because it's rising, but I think it's also at the same time a big challenge to bring this product to other countries where you harvest and grow coffee and really distribute the coffee recycled cups worldwide.
Julia, another question from me. Is your strategy to look at producing new types of material from the coffee grounds, or are you looking to change habits?
I'm more kind of convinced to create this new material and replace plastics with that. So there's for packaging, we're living in this very plastic-driven society, and it's so versatile to use it in standard injection molds. So larger industries don't need to completely change their production methods. They can just use the material and kick out the oil-based plastics.
Great. Thank you very much, Julian. Thank you. You're doing good. It's hard, it's challenging to stand up here. Okay, our next finalist has developed a whole new approach to language learning with an app called Bilinguapp. Please welcome to the stage, David Montiel. Okay, are you ready? Yeah. Nice. Ooh. Your minute starts now.
Hello, I'm the creator of Bilinguapp, a language learning app named by Google one of the best 5 in the market, and the highest rated with 4.8 stars. I have worked at Google, LinkedIn, Xing, and I could quit my job at eBay just last month because of how well this monetized. You see, being a foreigner here, when reading in German, I came across strange words, and I hated taking out my dictionary every time that happened. So I programmed Bilinguapp. And here, users read text from our library in 2 of the 13 supported languages side by side, the native language and the target language. And it's an audiobook with a real human voice narrating and an animation indicating where you are. With both of Google's Editor's Choice and Android Excellence Award, it's already officially an example to follow for all other apps. We have 1.7 million organic users, no marketing campaigns, just word of mouth. But I want to grow more. We use public domain, but in my vision, I have books like Harry Potter and music. People love learning languages with music, and this is a perfect format for that. We got this far without marketing, a team, or copyrighted content. Just imagine how much further we can go with this funding.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. You're right there. You ready? Justine?
David, great app, and you've done a fantastic job in 6 months to get 1.5 million downloads, and I'm using it. It's really good.
Thank you.
So you say you are a language learning software. What would stop a competitor doing exactly what you're doing and decimating your market?
I think, well, first of all, I have patent pending in both US and Europe. But I think one of the most important things is that from the data that I have collected from my users, it's more like a tool that they use as an extra. So it's never the only language learning app they have. It's usually they have another app which they use to learn, like taking classes, and with this they use that knowledge to actually learn, like read something that so they feel that they have actually learned it.
I'm sorry, just another question, because as you can tell, I'm not German, so I'm also trying to teach myself German. Your app is quite passive, so language learning is also about writing and speaking. In some ways, it's quite one-dimensional.
Yeah, I think first of all, I built this as a side project for the last year, like only on my free time after work. So only last month I started working 100% on that. So the next steps are gamification, in which people are going to actually basically solve games to make it something that people more return to. And also music and complete books, which is also something that people will come back to and will improve retention.
Can you speak a bit about how you're doing the translation? Are you using content that already exists in multiple languages?
Correct. So far, the texts that I'm using are copyrighted, public domain texts, like Cinderella or the Beauty and the Beast, or text from Wikipedia, or text from people who are not famous and they allow me to use their content. So
not Harry Potter.
Not Harry Potter. That's why I think I make this optimistic extrapolation. Like, if we got this far with texts that are relatively unknown and boring, I think with better content, people are going to like the app even more than the 4.8 stars it already has.
I would have one question. I mean, it's very impressive what you have done in the last 6 months. And I tried it, I really like it. But, now it's also part of your model, it's for free. And as I understand, obviously, if you want a real business with it, you gotta, upgrade, you gotta freemium. Yeah. How do you want to then differentiate from the ones like a Duolingo, Lingoda, Babbel? So even in Berlin, there are huge companies in that space.
At the moment, it's freemium. So people can download it and use the free text for free, of course. But some of the texts, you have to pay for them. So you can either buy them individually or subscribe monthly or yearly. At the moment, yearly is what makes the most money because people subscribe, like they have a passion, so they want to use it more.
So, and you did everything by yourself so far? So, like 1.7 downloads just with your own work? So
that is correct, yeah. I have made a Kickstarter campaign. With that, I have money to pay a freelancer to make the version of iOS. I'm a programmer of Android. And that's why the iOS version usually is a couple of steps behind, because I have to wait for them to finish, etc. And I am actively programming the Android version at the moment.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Flew by, right? It flew by. Okay. Our next innovator has created a prosthetic that is custom molded in just 1 hour. Yeah, impressive. So that people in developing countries have better and more affordable access. To tell us about it, please welcome Lucas Paez de Mello from Amparo. Yeah, Lucas. Oh, nice. Okay, Lucas, are you ready?
Yep.
Your minute. I love this. I love that you brought it with you on stage. It's awesome. Your minute starts now.
There are 30 million amputees in the world, and 90% of them don't have access to modern prostheses because there's a lack of resources, clinics, and specialized professionals. I'm Lucas, CEO and co-founder of Amparo, and we have created the Confidence Socket, which allows people to provide a prosthetic leg in 1 hour. Our material is remoldable and can be reused 10 times, saving huge costs for health systems. All the tools required to build this can fit into a sports bag, so we can give legs to people who live in rural and remote areas of the world. Since August, our launch, we sold 100 units to 35 customers in 9 countries. Next year, we already closed 2 distribution deals. Next year, we'll sell 1,200 units. And with the funds of the Creators Award, we'll get closer to our vision and build Amparo clinics and increase access to prosthetics in every corner of the planet. Amparo is about mobility. It provides mobility so that every single amputee can live life to their full potential.
Thank you, Lucas. It was good. It was good. You almost had it. Okay, Thomas, come to our nice. Thomas?
Yes. Thank you very much for the great pitch. Obviously, very impressive what you've come up with here. One of the big questions I have is like, how do you think about distribution, especially if you want to get the product into remote and rural areas? Like, how are you going to get the product out?
We have a project that we call the Amparo Clinics, and that's about installing clinics that would provide prosthetics in developing countries. So for that, it's actually one of the things that we'd like to do with this money is to create pilot projects. We already have contacts in South Africa, in Brazil, Ghana, and also in Kenya. Places that already provide prosthetics will go there, install the system, do training, and they will start providing prosthetics with our products.
So it's not your clinics, you're enabling existing clinics.
We don't want to have clinics.
Got it.
We want to be able to provide people to actually entrepreneurs or governments who would like to give them to their populations.
Lucas, it's a great idea. I think it's fantastic. How would someone in a developing country, as you call it, pay for one of these prosthetics, bearing in mind they're very expensive?
There are 2 things. So there are a lot of public clinics in developing countries that provide them free of charge. There are also many NGOs that do that, like the Red Cross, and some other NGOs that also do that, like Motivation, for example, in the UK. And the idea, but there's one thing though, there's some places where people could pay for prosthetics, but there are no clinics, there are no professionals. So the goal is actually to install and help people to install, even maybe an entrepreneur, they would like to have a clinic of his own, so we enable him to be able to provide prosthetics for their population.
And how much does one cost?
One of our products, we have what we call the Robin Hood business model. So we're starting sales here in Europe, and we sell them for about 650 euros. But for developing countries, we have a 80% gross margin on it. So we have plenty space to actually get down to the cost. The goal is actually to sell them for a maximum of 200 euros in the developing world.
Yeah. Next, Luis. Yeah, go for it.
I was wondering, when I heard the pitch the first time, we saw videos of yourself, I was very impressed, but then I felt, and it's kind of to the same question, you know, what we heard before, it sounds like it's still not that affordable. And I get it that people, you know, that are in rural areas, you know, they don't have to travel that far to get it. But what I'm really wondering is, what about the people that cannot even afford 200, that don't have a healthcare system? Is there any way you could make it accessible for them as well?
We're not going to give to them necessarily, we don't want to have the clinics. What we like to is to support governments and NGOs that reach them. Also because we don't have the power to reach these people. The idea is really to support the governments and these institutions that are already in place, because they have basic healthcare units or hospitals that are in these rural areas, and therefore they will be providing. We would give them for a lower price, so they provide for free for the population.
Great. Thank you very much, Lucas. Yes. Nice. Wow. From one to the next, these are some spectacular companies. Our next finalist has made a 100% organic baby food whose ingredients can be traced back to the source. From Low and Son Organics, please welcome to the stage, Liz Zauer-Williamson. Yes, come close to it.
Yep.
With your whole body.
Okay.
Yeah, take a step.
Hey,
nice. Okay. Your minute starts now.
Hey, I'm Liz from Lumenzahn Organics. We are Lumenzahn Organics, the world's first fully organic, traceable baby food company. And as women, 3 founders, we're moms on a mission. And why are we on a mission? Well, One, food safety securities, childhood obesity, tooth decay on the rise, unsustainable agricultural practices are ruining not our generation, our children's future, which is why we are out to change this. And we're not alone. 80% of millennial moms right today basically take up the whole population of all parents on the planet, spending roughly about $70 billion a year on baby food. And quite frankly, half of them nearly don't trust established brands. In the last 12 months, we've launched our first organic range of baby food, where we're now nationally listed in both Germany and Austria, with sales of just over 600,000 euros. We're about to launch in the UK next month, and we've already online significant interest from South Korean, Chinese, and UK moms. So, thank you.
You're good. You're good. You did good. I know, right? It's harder than it seems. Here, come on here. We're ready for you.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
When it comes to baby food, there's a big reliable on and also strict control when it comes to
Trust. Trust and safety standards completely.
Yeah. So how do you ensure like the quality, but also the trust and the whole process?
Okay, well, we're extraordinarily lucky living here in Germany. We're very privileged to have some of the world's highest standards of safety and quality around food to start for, which is why we've also started here. Because in some parts of the world, it's very unregulated. There are some severe issues with baby food manufacturers causing serious illnesses and obesity to children, which is terrible. So for us, we're working with qualified partners. We source all our farming and producers, so we know who we're working with. They're all certified. And I think given the 12 months, or just over 12 months we've been in market, we are seeing mums just actually craving our product, but returning in high volumes to repurchases.
So I would say not only moms, because
parents, sorry. I hear you.
Yeah. I have a little daughter, and we tried your product, and I really liked it. And my daughter loves the little Löwenzahn bag. That's all on the good thing. She likes the food as well, but it's very expensive, I have to say.
You're right.
We used it, but I think to make it really huge, it has to go down by the cost. How do you want to achieve that?
Well, let's talk about that, because realistically, this is a numbers game, but I want to just push back a little bit, because half the problems we have with unsustainable agriculture is the fact that prices of food are too cheap in parts of the world, and parts of the world actually have exorbitant prices. There's a real inequality about how pricing your food. With growth comes scale. Scale comes down, and we can actually start to improve our margins and start to pass those savings on to our moms and dads.
I've got a question. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of organic baby foods out there.
Yep.
My question is, if you stripped out the traceability, so the tagging...
What's so different about it?
No, I'm saying is, if you did strip it out, because my question is, as a parent, do I really care where it comes from? I care it's organic. I don't really care where the milk comes from. Would your costs come down then quite a lot?
I think it'd be very... short-termism to actually do that, because I think the issue that we have, we're very lucky where we are living right now in terms of the issues around food security. There are parts of the world who are being missold organic or even baby food, to be fair, where it's cut with melamine, it's cut with fraudulent products. We are going to go through a world population explosion where there's a number of basically shortcuts are going to be taken. So I think increasingly traceability and security around food are going to become hot topics. For us to strip it out would be a mistake. I want to sort of call out another point in terms of what would make us different. Right now, our second product of baby porridge is the first non-instant on the market, because we're taking away the processing, taking away, basically leaving in all the fibers, leaving all the natural flavors, which is very different to what's on market. So we're going to continue with that philosophy of really making sure that moms and dads know that not only is it organic, not is it traceable, there's no nasties, and it tastes like real food.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you, Liz. It's good. I know, Thomas, I saw you were worried, but when it comes to the Q&A, we always let them finish the answer. The pitch is like a hard time. Q&A more of a discussion, delving deep into the soul. Our final creator has a crowdfunding platform designed to help fight against climate change. From plana.earth, please welcome Lubomila Jordanova. Hi. Wow, spectacular. Okay, Lubomila, your minute starts now.
Far too long we've ignored nature's capacity to transform our lives in seconds, until now, when we can. Heat waves, floods, wildfires, and scores of humans, animals, and trees gone. Extreme weather events across the globe have been shouting at us that climate change is real and we need to act. Yet, nothing has changed. Not much has changed. We still have no clear capacity to understand how to address this multi-dimensional issue as individuals, businesses, governments, which is why we built Plan A, the first crowdfunding platform that uses data to predict where and how climate change will hit the hardest. Using these insights, we channel capital to environmental organizations and innovators that address these issues effectively. We're building the first platform that allows individuals like you, businesses like you, NGOs, governments to act together, driven by the facts and the data. My 1 minute is over now. The planet will be over soon if we don't act now. Thank you.
Nice! Great punch and great keeping it together. I saw your full force here.
So very impressive pitch. I really liked it. And you know, if you think about, there are probably not many more things you could do in terms of what is the highest impact. So I really appreciate you taking the effort. So that's the first thing. I think that's another applause, I would say. So, but our job is also to be critical. Yeah? So, and as I understand, you know, you want to build this platform, and in the end, you know, everyone, you know, that thinks about this knows that climate change is a problem. And I think, you know, there are platforms like GiveWell that do a great job in saying, you know, these are the organizations where your money is spent best, and they just give you a list in the end, and there are no costs attached. So, and as I understand your model, you charge the NGOs 5 to 8%, and I wonder if this is necessary at some point.
Thank you for the question. For me, my biggest problem with climate change is the way it's communicated today. We don't have a clear understanding of what climate change is, and this is the premises of what Plan A is. Of course, at the moment we monetize through a crowdfunding platform, but how we empower NGOs is by building communities within them. What our platform allows is for them to talk to each other, share knowledge. We also teach them and give them kind of an audience through our Climate Change Academy, where we have over 50,000 people, readers, to kind of connect in a different way to people, to the topic. So the benefits of Plan A are not simply transferring money from one place to another. This exists. This is not the thing that we're trying to challenge. We're trying to challenge the way we talk about climate change, the way we connect to the topic, because we're going to be facing this reality and we simply need to be prepared to look at it in a positive and empowered way.
Awesome. That's what I hoped for as an answer. Thank you.
I've got a quick question. Where do you get your data from? Could someone not do this as quickly and as easily as you're doing it?
So we've been 8 months within building the technology, which is why we're releasing in a month. In the meantime, we've been collecting money because we know that the problem is big, so we kind of didn't want to waste time only by building the technology and claiming that we're fighting for climate change. The data is out there, and it's publicly available, and anyone can access it, and anyone should access it, because it is, the size of this job is beyond me and beyond Plan A. But what we're doing that is unique is essentially finding correlations between this data and then translating this in priority cards for countries. This is already done, so anyone can be our guest to challenge this, but we already know what's happening in Germany, we already know what's happening in any country on this planet with regards to what they have to do with regards to climate change. So the data is there, but what we're doing is not.
Thanks. And how was your impact so far?
So, as I said, we've been building the technology over the last 8 months. In the meantime, we created a Climate Change Academy, which gathers people and allows them to connect to the topic in a fairly, you know, in a digestible way. We speak about the topic. And then the other thing that we did was organize events in Berlin that have gathered over 6,000 people. Events such as green movie nights, flea markets, but essentially, again, ways in which people can see climate change from a different perspective that is not necessarily your dramatic statistics for 2,100 or something like that. And we have collected over today over 60,000 euros for different organizations that we're changing each month, essentially.
Thank you. Thank you, Lubomila. You guys, this is not going to be simple. It looks very challenging. Okay, thank you very much, judges. Enjoy. Battle hard. And now, as our esteemed judges head backstage to deliberate, I'd like to introduce our next category, the nonprofit. In this category, we try to highlight companies that are striving in innovative ways to make our world a kinder and better place. These are the companies that fight for us all, and we certainly need more people out there doing that. Now, hundreds of companies applied, and only 3 were chosen to make it as finalists here tonight. Let's see a little bit about who they are.
We're around 7 billion people on the planet right now, and over 1 billion people live without access to sustainable energy. So the impact we're after is largely the delivery of clean energy access for people who live beyond the energy grids. So the interesting question is, what does it feel like to not have access to energy? You and I, we can't really fathom that anymore. Our whole lives depend on energy. So we started this project in 2012. It was about sharing a little bit of light powered by a little bit of sunshine in the back, solar panel. So it's kind of like, taking the sun from the sky and holding it. And this is the Little Sun Original, as we call it. It's a small solar-powered lamp. It's very simple, right? You put the big sun in the back during the daytime, and then you have an evening's worth of clean light. My name is Felix. I'm the director of Little Sun Foundation, and I'm a creator.
Every year, thousands of young migrants come to Germany. This is not something that just happened 2 years ago. So when they come here, they go to these so-called integration classes, but school does not provide enough resources to help them integrate within their environment. I was working in an inner city school in Frankfurt for 3 years, and this is where I found out about these classes. I was actually really shocked what's going on there, and that teachers really try their best, but they just don't have enough time and resources at all to help these kids. I talked to them, we developed the different parts, and in the end I decided to found a social business. I'm Anna and my organization is Subaka.
Hunger is the world's biggest solvable problem worldwide. There are 800 million hungry people in the world, so we built an app to make it easy for everyone to make a very small donation and feed a child for an entire day. It's only 40 cents of a euro for an entire day of food. And yet there are actually more than 20 smartphone users for each hungry child in the world. We designed Share the Meal to be used also when you are eating. And the reason for that is that eating, obviously, it can be a shared experience, like with friends, with family, at home. And this is why we wanted you to be able to use a phone in a way, right? Sharing your meal with someone that maybe is very far and actually doesn't have food. You can decide where you want your money to go. So you can, for example, share your meal with a family in Nigeria, and then we will make sure that the money will reach exactly that country and the operation of the World Food Program there. My name is Max from Share the Meal, and I'm a creator.
Wow. There's some serious competition. Hi, guys. They're all seated right here. Okay, so the grand prize winner in this category tonight will take home 60,000 euros. But, and our finalists don't know this, since WeWork is committed to supporting all of the nonprofits that make it to this stage, our 2 runner-ups will be going home with 15,000 euros each. Now, yes. WeWork employees all around the world have been voting all week, and our grand prize winner is Little Sun Foundation! Come on up here! Yes, with the sun! Congratulations. Thank you,
Fantastic.
Valeska.
Thank you.
Your award. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you so much. This is incredible. Thank you to the WeWork community. I didn't even know it's a vote by the whole community. That's even better.
Yes.
Wow.
And can you tell us something to the community about your next step?
Well, I
This
can
little
tell you what we'll do exactly with this money, because what we wanted to do is we wanted to work with kids in Rwanda in a solar schools project. So with 60,000 euro, I'm now standing here for, I think, approximately 2,500 kids and approximately 13,000 family members of them who will receive access to little sun lamps together with the WeWork community to make their learning easier, their nights a bit brighter, and to give a better future and some hope. And I think that idea of sharing something that's happening here tonight in Berlin with a crowd of people, with our friends in Rwanda, is really fantastic. So we're super excited on that.
That is amazing. Thank you very much, darling. Great job, and keep doing the work. And now, it's always very hard at this moment. Yes! It's always so hard because everything that you guys are doing is amazing and spectacular and changing the world. So what we really wanted to do with our 2 runner-up prizes is just say thank you so much for making a difference. Please stand up so we can see you. Come on, Zubaka Sharamil. Yes. Thank you, guys. All 3 of our nonprofits will also be getting WeWork memberships for a year, and we're very excited about having you in our community. Now, to all of you in the audience and to all of you at home, we really want to thank you for showing up, for caring, and being an active part of the community. Always remember, you are WeWork. The WeWorkers. You can see where the WeWorkers in the crowd are sitting. They're all like, yes! Amazing. Now, are you ready for it? Do you want to know what happens? Finalists and judges, back on stage. Come on up here. Hello, guys. So, how did it go? How was it?
It was very tough. We've been deliberating before coming on stage and afterwards as well, and things have changed. The 5 pitches were amazing, so we had a really tough time, but we do have 3 winners.
Nice. Oh, 3 winners? Thank you very much. That even that part is not decided. It could be 2 winners, it could be 3 winners. 3 winners means they really had a hard time choosing. Now, I want you guys all to know that all of you, no one will be going home empty-handed. All of our finalists are going to win office space at WeWork for a full year. So we're very excited. Thank you. Yeah, Lubomila's like, yeah, I need that. You can see that. We're very excited. We're very excited to support your growth. We're very excited for your process to inspire us all, to influence the community, and help us grow. And I would like to be the first one to tell you, welcome to the family, finalists. Now, let's see. plana.earth. Come on up here, Lubomila. You are our 3rd prize winner, and we're sending you home tonight with 62,000 euros. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes, you're going to do amazing. We believe in you. Peeling Wap. Oh, yes. Your friends are in the audience. You're our first runner-up, and you're going home tonight with 158,000 euros. Congratulations, darling. Okay. Our grand prize winner, with a prize of 318,000 euros, Lucas from Amparo! Congratulations, darling. You're adorable. That's amazing. Congratulations again to all of our finalists and all of our winners. Thank you all for helping making tonight so special. We will see you in Los Angeles for our global finals. Thank you very much to all of you from home. Everybody here in the audience.